Hello, my name is Alian, and today I am facilitating the fourth and final part of an Impulse Drive series on the Gauntlet RPG community. Impulse Drive is by Adrian Thoen. Forgive me, Adrian, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but Thoen. But I have lightly reskinned some of it to allow us to play in a setting based on the Expanse TV series. And the team are a mixed group from that series. What else do I need to say? I need to tell you that as part of the Gauntlet RPG community, if you don't know about it, please look us up at Gauntlet-RPG. You'll find us in any reputable search engine. Do please find out about us, come and join us and play with us. Want to hear more about that, go to an earlier episode introduction. We are playing with some safety tools. We're playing with the X card, lines and veils, an open door, and within the Gauntlet Code of Conduct. And again, if you don't know about that, you can find out more from earlier sessions. All of these players have been with me throughout the series, so I won't go over the safety tool rules of engagement. They're very familiar with those. What else do I want you to know? My pronouns are he, him. And now I will ask each of the players in turn to introduce themselves and just tell us something briefly about their character and where we kind of left them. I am going to leave Treb till last. No, I think I'm going to do Treb first because I think that is probably something everybody else can play off. So let's go we'll start with Treb, then I'll go reverse character keeper order. So Treb, say hello and tell us something about Kit Parker.
Hi, I'm Treb, and my pronouns are he, them, and I'm playing Kit Parker. They are former MCR and intelligence officer who left because they disagreed with some information they discovered about their government. And they joined this crew to try and get away from it all, and that didn't work out so well, it seems, because they ended up in a shootout with MCRN tactical squad and had to reveal themselves as an intelligence officer to end it.
Yeah, and plenty of feels at the end of that firefight, I thought. Okay, now then, let's go to Bodhi. Say hello and tell us something about Sophia and maybe what Sophia's feeling at the moment. You are muted.
Hi, I'm Bodhi, pronouns they, them, and I'm playing Sophia, who is a Belter cop turned PI. And I've slightly divided loyalties between the Belt and Earth because Earth are parents. And last time was asked by Kit, I believe. Yes, asked by Kit to bring in a biologist in quite a convoluted kind of web of intrigue to bring them to a Belter bar when the said firefight ensued. And at the moment, Sophia is mostly feeling guilty for having put, as far as she knows, innocent civilians at risk here, and is perhaps not really concentrating on what's happening with the crew because she's just, oh crap, I've just brought someone who I brought in by force into a firefight, and I feel terrible about that.
Yes, that is Dr. Roberta Ashang, and we might find out from Brandon in a moment why Roberta Ashang, Dr. Ashang, is involved in this at all. So let's Brandon, say hello and introduce us to RaeDawn.
Hello, I'm Brandon, and my character is RaeDawn Luamba, she, her, who is a Belta from no particular part of the belt, born on a ship. And has joined up with this motley crew of Inyas and Wallas, I think, in the case of Sophia, but things were amicable until recent. Like she wanted to get hold of a biologist because of the insects, what they found on this rock, what shouldn't have been alive, and it was glowing green and phosphorescent and had the toms of Protogen and maybe other corporations all over there. And since we got sent into that damn dangerous mission without no heads up these things was going to be there, she wanted to find out what the heck they were. Maybe if not get a jump on the opposition, at least to find out something that was going to keep them out of trouble. And instead, a world of trouble got dumped on her head. So that's why she was looking for this biologist to come and figure out what this damn thing is. And if she had ever heard of it, what is some genetic manipulation thing or something maybe worse than that.
And RaeDawn currently has a project ongoing to understand these proto-roaches, as we have christened them.
Demonstrate.
And then finally, John, say hello and tell us something about Felix Ray.
Hi, I'm John. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Felix, who also uses he, him. Felix is an Earther who was born and raised in the military complex and worked in, was part of the UN military for a long time before, in his eyes, walking away from the life and instead seeking something new out at the edges of space. Yeah, last episode, he decided to help, against his probably better judgment, to help RaeDawn with her project and arrange for a biologist to be brought to a CD Belter bar, and got more than he planned on. And I think he is probably feeling somewhat betrayed by Kit, but also I think angry and maybe afraid about, he has tried to walk away from this, military life, only to find out that the person he's been with is a MRCN intelligence officer. And so maybe he's not as far out as he thought he was.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What you read on feelings, yeah, she angry at Kit for keeping secrets, especially one, and she angry at everyone because for being shot at.
Being shot at, it can make people angry. Previously on Impulse Drive, The Expanse, I think certainly the scene that we will see is Kit standing up and saying, "It's okay, I'm MRCN intelligence." Quick cut, RaeDawn, "You fucking bastard." Sophia looking to the doctor, look of shock on face. Felix walks up to Kit, punches him, them, sorry. And then once the tactical team from MRCN back off because they think this is an operation in progress, Kit's hand terminal pings, and there's a message that says, "Hi Kit, long time no see," from a Major Kirstin Omala, Kit's old boss. And that, I think, is where we left it pretty much. Kit, it's inviting a response.
I can deal with that later.
Okay, so what is the immediate plan?
Yeah, well, you were inviting a response from us. You can't deal with that later.
Felix, what do you do?
I think if it works for everyone, I'd suggest we go back to the ship, take Roberta back, assuming she's willing. I don't know that we're quite at the point of kidnapping yet. Yeah, it's on shaky ground. And yeah, I don't know. I think maybe there's a scene back on the ship of picking that project up or confronting Kit. I don't think Felix would want to be confronting Kit for too long here in this bar. I think there'd be a moment of like, yeah, maybe this is a conversation best had where we're on our home ground.
RaeDawn?
Yeah, no, we got to get out of here.
Sophia, you are currently in charge of Dr. Ashang, who is looking at you as if to say, what the shit have you got me into? What do you do, Sophia?
I turn to Roberta and I say, look, we're clearly in deep shit here that we didn't expect to be in. From your reaction, you're clearly in deep shit here. What do you say we get somewhere safe? Because you were scared in your apartment. We just got shot at here. Let's go somewhere safe, work it all out, come to our ship.
I think that she will acquiesce. It's not like she's enthusiastic. This seems like a range of uncomfortable options. But at the moment, you describing it as a safe place seems like the best option. So Dr. Roberta Ashang will come with you. So I am going to cut to back on board the Skylark. Felix, you kind of set this scene. What do you want this scene to look like?
So I'm picturing we're probably in like the galley area. Felix is, of course, pouring himself a drink. And I think he like stops in mid pour and just slings the bottle across the room into the corner and it smashes. And then he just looks at Kit and says, we need an explanation. Who are you really?
I assume I wouldn't have been using my real name. Like,
no, I think that you gave your cover name to that tactical team, Kit Parker, but that is probably the name that whatever operation or you were last on has you flagged under. So I think you probably do have another name. Whether you want to introduce that or whether you want to stick with Kit, I'll leave it to you.
I just need a name generator. Let's come up with something. Is no.
I mean, for the plot purposes, it's almost irrelevant who you really are. My guess is they know you as Kit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We can leave this as vague as, okay, I come clean, my name is X.
Yeah. So I give them my real name. But I left that name behind when I left intelligence. It's just Kit now.
RaeDawn, how does that sound?
Fuck you, Rodney. Well, you didn't. You didn't think what this little detail of your past life or was going to catch up with you was going to be important, maybe? Was going to put us all in fucking danger? Or I don't know.
So, do we know about...
So who you after? Are you after me? Or are you after this Roberta chick?
I'm not after anyone. I
they-
just wanted to be left alone. But it seems someone...
No, who you, as in you, Inya, after.
After?
Yeah. You don't come up and shooting bar without no objective in mind, hey? That kill or capture. So who was it and which was it?
I know that those Marines were after you for some reason. I don't know why.
Fucking hate it.
So just to be clear, the line that Kit is taking is that they're not after any of you. They are just after a quiet life away from intelligence. Am I right? Yeah. Okay. Sophia, what do you make of that?
As I put in the chat, Sophia's decidedly uncomfortable because kind of taking Kit's side, not so much because I agree with Kit and kind of find them sympathetic, but more because I'd be a hypocrite if not, because I'm on the run too. And I think what I'm thinking, because of that experience of laying low, is I'm interjecting and saying how do we know this situation isn't still hot? What are we doing arguing in our ship, in a dock in Ceres? We need to get out in the black and go dark. You're muted, Alan.
She's right.
Thank you.
Well,
Felix, what are you thinking in response to that as we go round again?
I'm not going out into the black until we get it out on the table. I don't know that I can trust you anymore, Kit.
You want to talk about trust? Well, let's talk about why you decided to order yourself a biochemist. You want to talk about that?
You done seen that reason.
What was that?
You want to get better look at it? You know, brought it back with you.
Kit looks mystified, Ray. What do you do?
Good. I grabbed them by the collar and I towed them down into the cargo bay.
Is this with Dr. Ashang, or are you leaving her alone in the galley?
No, can you come too?
Okay, so all of you are making your way down to engineering and the little cubby hole, which is where RaeDawn has set up. What do they see, RaeDawn?
They see an engineering workstation. What have modifications made to hold a little transparent cube of heavy container. Inside that container is a little green bug what is existing on barely in atmosphere and no food.
So, Kit, what's your reaction? Because Felix seems peculiarly relaxed about this revelation.
Are you shitting me? You kept one of those things?
Fuck you, yes, I kept one of those things. This thing.
Why?
Do you think that these things and something like them, they go away because we take our eyes off him? Do you think that that asteroid was all there was of this thing? Do you think that this came about, just happened to be on some asteroid? Ooh, new alien life form in solar system from nothing?
I
Cut me a
think.
fucking break.
I think
These things put us in a shitload of trouble.
exactly.
Yeah.
This is exactly why we don't want one on our ship.
Sophia.
Can anyone give me one good reason why we shouldn't drop this thing in the incinerator right fucking now?
Because day is more. That's like
And
saying,
that's
oh,
our-
And that
that's
is
like
not
saying
our problem.
that's like saying, well, we found a grenade this dangerous. We better space it. Okay, because they ain't no more grenades. We're never gonna get a grenade fucking thrown at us. You know, we're not gonna have to worry about this thing never again.
This
It's
shit.
never going to
This
be no
shit
problem.
right here. That's why I left. Shit like this. You think that the Mars or Earth didn't have a hand in that proto shit?
And sure, maybe they did. In which case, for the fucking belt, need to know about it. We just got to close eyes. We just got to close eyes and wait for whoever it is what made this thing to make their next move. Maybe deliberate contamination of people or something.
Cut to a close shot of Roberta Ashang looking horrified as she says, "How did you know?" Then your hand terminal goes off again, Kit, and there's a message from Major Omala that says, "I can't keep that tactical squad off your back indefinitely, Kit." What do you do, Kit?
What do you want?
"Hi, Kit. Nice to speak," says the attractive middle-aged woman who appears on your terminal. "Are you sharing this, Kit?"
Yeah.
So flick it to an engineering panel where everyone can see it. What I need, Kit, what I need is I need some loose ends tying up. Because otherwise, that tactical squad that is trying to tie up a different set of loose ends is going to come after you all. Because you blew up something that belonged to a friend of theirs. The bottom line,
What do
Kit.
you all think? You want to listen to her?
Sophia?
Or are we just going to figure this out on our own?
You talking to us?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to all of you.
I say, listen. We don't have to agree, but more information can't be a bad thing.
Felix?
We almost died from a lack of information.
I think Felix just kind of like grunts a sound of agreement.
Ray?
Better to be at the table than not.
Ray?
Fuck no.
Say again?
Fuck no.
Okay, Ray, do you leave while the others listen? Because it looks like the crew's outvoting you as we speak.
So I got asked the crew, like, is that how we make decisions? Is it like votes, or is it like we have to have like
You go.
they have to be in agreement?
You find.
I don't think you've ever had this complicated a decision to make. But what Omala seems to be saying is that at the minute she can keep that tactical squad occupied, but not indefinitely.
I may want an answer to to question what the scientist Roberta said. So we're going to take her back to look at the bug.
Fine. So right. So RaeDawn,
you guys can get your tails twisted by the Indians.
So I think what I'm going to suggest is that RaeDawn and Dr. Ashang stay in this engineering workspace, and the rest of you retreat to the galley where a conversation with Major Omala goes on. Yeah? Okay. So her explanation. Oh, sorry, Sophia. Oh, no, sorry, was that?
Yes, no, it was. It was, I would like to spend a lead on my bounty hunter if I could.
Oh, yes.
I would like to spend a lead to say, and I might keep this quite vague to give you enough room to work with, Alan, but to say that Roberta is connected to Roberta is connected to the disappearances that I'm investigating, and that those disappearances are connected to these proto-roaches or the project in general. If I have to spend 2 leads to establish both those connections, I'm happy to.
I think that in answer to the question, how are they connected? Roberta Ashang blurts, I was part of this project. She is a former protogen scientist. And I think the connection that to that and the missing people is that a different arm of that operation by protogen involved the kidnapping of innocent subjects for experimentation. And she says, but I had nothing to do with that. Right, ours was a simple animal-based experiment.
Can we have some of this conversation in the?
Say again.
Can we have some of this conversation in the engineering?
Oh, I think that Sophia has interjected at this point before you get into a conversation with Omala. So I'm assuming you're all present for this. Yeah, so that is how your lead connects her to your missing people. Okay. Anything else you want to do with that, Sophia, at this point?
At this point, I'm obviously angry. I'm pacing. I'm like, I'm basically kind of saying what the fuck to Roberta, because I've been hunting this kind of for a long time now. This is
and she says, and why do you think I was living in a shitty apartment on Ceres if I don't think I'm being hunted too?
Fuck. Yeah, and I think I trust her on that. I'm like
Sophia,
shit, this tangled web.
RaeDawn.
You leave us alone for a bit. We go and talk.
So leave you and Roberta alone.
Yes.
I think you're going to have to convince her to do that now, because I think that Sophia is the person that she relates to. So do you want to use manipulate to, or Sophia, you can simply tell Dr. Ashang, she'll be okay with RaeDawn.
I think Sophia needs convincing to leave leave Roberta there, because I've just
Listen,
I've just cracked open this case.
So, RaeDawn, do you want to manipulate or intimidate Sophia to give you, inverted commas, rights over Roberta?
well, I'm going to just going to say, look, this whole crock of shit was so that she could get a look at this and talk to me about it. You're going to make that for nothing?
No,
Sophia?
Are you going to make that for nothing?
She can look at it. I just want to be here.
Well, you think I'm going to keep information from you?
No,
do you think that? Say it, because you should say. You better say it if you think it.
You a detective? You ever been an investigator?
She going to tell me science, okay? You want to stick your hand in the middle of that? Tell me what your background is. I ain't going nowhere with her.
Okay, RaeDawn, roll with slick to manipulate. Have I shared the
Yes,
Earl?
somewhere.
It's now in the Zoom chat. Got it, Brandon?
Yep.
Snake eyes. Sophia, it is entirely up to you. On a 6, be prepared for the worst, whether they are a PC or an NPC. What do you do, Sophia? You can do anything.
I think I back off, but I stay in the room. I lean against a bulkhead. It's clear that I'm not moving any further. You're muted, Alan.
Oh, I am. So just to be clear then, RaeDawn can have a conversation with Dr. Ashang here in Sophia's presence. That leaves Felix and Kit to head up to the galley for a conversation with Major Omala. Yeah? Okay, let's cut to the galley, where up on the screen is this middle-aged MRCN officer, Major Omala, and she's explaining that MRCN intelligence is in a potentially difficult situation, Kit, because an internal investigation has discovered that a faction within the intelligence community has been supporting the anarcho-OPA terrorist cell. And the tactical squad was sent by that faction to mop up you and your crew, because the anarcho-OPC have reported your ship as responsible for destroying the supply dump where that MRCN intelligence faction was leaving supplies for them. Now, that support was arm's length, and it's questionable whether it was authorized, but frankly, that doesn't worry Omala. What worries Omala is that given the sensitive political situation at the moment, it cannot come out that any bit of the Martian officialdom has been dealing with OPA terrorists. That doesn't suit anybody on Mars. So as from her point of view, from what she is putting to you is the official MRCN intelligence line, the anarcho cell is a loose end. We can conceivably deal with the internal faction, but we cannot leave that loose end out there. And so basically, the risk is that intelligence suggests that the terrorist cell are involved with a longer term scheme to drop an asteroid on the inner planets. What intelligence doesn't know is whether that is Mars, Earth, or both. But clearly, we can't take the risk, it's us, she says. So, this is an opportunity, Kit, to come in from the cold. What I need you to do is tie up the loose end. I need the head of the anarcho-OPA cell taken out. If you say yes, then I can arrange for a pallet of supplies, inverted commas, to be delivered to your ship for delivery to where we believe the leader of that cell is located. And I can also provide a plug-in for your transponder that will convince them that you're there on behalf of the faction I've been talking about. What do you think?
Not interested in coming in from the cold. I'm quite cozy here, thank you. But
Well,
I
look,
do this for you. We do this for you. You leave us alone.
look, I'm prepared to be flexible at this, Kit. You know, I'm offering you a chance to come in from the cold. You want to stay out in the cold, then sometimes it's quite nice to have somebody on the outside who can do things for us.
Let me discuss with the crew.
Look, that's entirely, you know, we can talk about that after the op, Kit. All I'm saying is that, you know, this is an opportunity for you. But in the short term, it stops the left hand killing you. Or do you really think you can hide?
Clearly not. But as I said, I need to talk this over with the crew.
It's fine. But I can only keep that tactical team tied up in red tape for a very limited period of time.
Yeah, I
Kit.
heard you the first time.
Let's speak again soon. Click. Meanwhile, in engineering, RaeDawn, you have Dr. Ashang. What do we see?
RaeDawn takes out her hand terminal and begins flicking through analytics menus, putting things up on the screen. She said, "All right, I can get down to this molecular structure, but I don't understand it. It's synthetic for sure, but me background isn't enough. And so you say you work on this."
And I think that Ashang explains that just because you don't recognize it doesn't mean that it's synthetic. It may be naturally occurring and just novel.
What you mean novel? You mean
We've never seen anything like it.
You mean exo solar?
That was the conclusion we came to.
How are these things alive?
I think this is where you get to invest in your downtime project. Sophia,
Yeah.
It does appear that this is becoming quite a detailed and esoteric science conversation. Do you want to sit in on it?
I think that as it's got straight into the science, I think I just leave without a word. I think I wanted to get in on the initial kind of pleasantries to see if kind of anything was revealed in Roberta's manner, and kind of as they went straight into the science. I've made my point and I leave.
Fine, fine. You will arrive in the galley at the point where when Kit is saying, okay, I need to talk to the crew. RaeDawn, let's have you roll. How does this work? You spend downtime, relax hours, or working, blah, blah, blah. Hang on, where is it? Is that where you get, oh, personal project. Sorry, it's a separate move, isn't it? So I think that over the next several hours, you advance your clock on understand the proto roaches, and she fills you in on the discovery of the original protomolecule by a Martian team, and the kind of they brought in protogen to help study it. Okay, that's what you'll get out of this tick on the clock. And I'm guessing that at that point, Kit is probably going to ping you to say, look, we have to talk about something. The clock is running. Okay. Do you want to go up to the galley or not?
I am asking her a question, which is, why are you in? Who was coming for you? Why are you hiding?
She doesn't necessarily know, but she knows that protogen is being taken apart by, you know, anyone who can get anybody who can find somebody who worked on this.
Okay, so you think freelancers?
Or you know, she thinks Earth may be after people who've done this work.
What is her background?
The OPA. She's a you know a geneticist.
You know, no. I mean, where's she from? What's her culture?
Oh, I see. I think she's probably from Earth.
Okay. I don't make snotty comments about Indians to other. Okay then. Everybody working on this and keeping it big secret, and I'm thinking maybe the time for that it's over.
Well, you know that she. At the minute, you've got her word for this.
If it's not in secret, then maybe you'll not be in so much trouble.
I think the way I'd play this is that if you complete your project to understand the roaches, then you would have enough information to go public with.
This is just dialogue. I know it. I know I don't have enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I get the ping, and I said, all right, make yourself comfortable. I escort her out into someplace to wherever we're not going to have a conversation, so she doesn't have to sit and know it.
Fine. So yeah, you can show her to some you know a bunk in effect, because I don't think facilities.
I could say take her to mine.
Okay.
And show her where to get her in something to drink, and then I go to galley.
And have you secured the ship in terms of she can't get out, no one can get in? I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that all run from bridge.
Okay.
I mean, I could run it from my engineering panel. So yeah.
Okay. So let's cut.
No one get out, and we got the camera. You know, there's the camera looking at the ship runway. Would set off an alarm if anybody approaching.
So let's cut to the galley with RaeDawn arriving, Felix and Sophia waiting. Felix, what have you been saying in the interim? Because you have come across the Anarchos before, haven't you? And in fact, for the purposes of the rest of this series, I've identified the Anarchos as your nemesis, your collective nemesis, because they do want you dead for what you did to that asteroid. Okay. So Felix.
I think so. Felix was there in the background observing Kit's call, and I think while waiting on everyone to get to the galley, he's mostly been quiet. There's not really been a lot of talking. It's like an uneasy silence between him and Kit as he's just thinking things over. And then as everyone arrives, I think I'll skip over the catch-upping part, but he'll say that whether we wanted to be in the middle of this or not doesn't matter. The fact is we are. And so we've got to take care of ourselves. And that means doing this job. Now, Kit, if you want to prove to us that you're not still some puppet, then I think we make our own agenda with the job.
I'm listening.
Mars clearly doesn't want it getting out that they've got an internal faction supporting this OPA terrorist cell. I say we let the world know. We deal with the cell because they're an immediate threat to us. But we don't need to be their errand boys. We don't need to keep their secrets.
So you want us to start tilting at windmills as well, huh?
I'm not saying we're going to go up against Mars. I'm just saying we don't need to be the puppets at the end of their strings. Otherwise, they're just going to show up again and ask the same thing from you. We make it clear that they can't control us.
Sophia.
Is RaeDawn back yet? Okay.
Yeah, my assumption is
I look at RaeDawn and say that doctor is a lead in the disappearance of 50 belters. I was investigating that. Case went cold. Now there's a lead. Those belters deserve justice. If we don't carry on with this, if we don't take this job, that lead goes cold again. I'm not willing to let that happen.
RaeDawn.
Belters from where?
All over the fucking place.
What, just kidnapping?
10 on series, 10, 15 Tycho Station, some on Ganymede. Yeah. No clue what happened to them, but now it looks like they've been taken, and God knows what's been done with them.
You got a good clue from that Dr Roberta.
And I think I look pointedly in the direction of the proto roach.
Oh, the proto roach is still down in engineering, but we know what you.
Oh no, but back towards the door.
Yes.
It's kind of like door back towards engineering.
Yeah, they used it on bugs. Now they use it on people.
Yeah. Don't know about you. I can't stand for that.
So RaeDawn.
So
Felix seems to be saying that you have to take this job because they're a threat. He's got some terms he wants to argue the toss with Major Omala. Looks like Sophia is not prepared to let this drop. Where do you stand?
Okay.
Kit, is that
First
good enough?
off, me good time and pissed about this. And she says as she pulls out a piece of brass and thwacks it on the table.
I'm significance. What am I supposed to infer from that?
Oh, this is a shell that was fired at me.
Okay, right, okay. So Kit, it looks like
Second thing is what make you think. Second thing is what make you think we can trust you, Kit, anymore. And the third thing is, even if we do this, how are you going to stop them from making us do another thing after that, and then another thing, and so on? You cave one time for people like this. Make it harder to stand up next time, because they got more on you. You're more involved. You know more of their secrets. You're more trouble. They got more reason to eliminate you at the end.
I know how the game works. That's why I wanted out.
Yeah, well, you've seen a lot of shit. You want to know my opinion about them?
Sure.
I'm going to share expertise.
Okay. So when you consult your accumulated knowledge on something you're an expert in, roll with calculating. So what are you wanting to share expertise about?
My expertise here is the political situation.
Okay.
With regards to that, and so by extension, the behavior of clandestine organizations like this.
So roll with calculating.
Okay. That's a 7.
So 7 to 9. Ask and the SM will give you an interesting answer, but it's up to you to make it useful.
If I was a group like MCRN, I might use people like us, but then we would clean them up.
So what's the question?
The question is that likely what's happening here?
It's possible. If you're saying to me, do clandestine organizations act immorally? The answer is certainly yes.
No, that's too broad a question. I'm talking. Yeah, I'm more interested in the bars.
The only way to protect yourselves from clandestine organizations is to have something on them.
Okay, so, Kit.
Mm-hmm.
What you got on them?
We've never actually discussed this.
You better have some, because you don't got nothing on them.
Can I make a suggestion so we can tie up some loose ends here?
Okay.
Is it conceivable, Kit, that maybe some of the dubious activity that Omala has now confirmed to you, does that fit perhaps with something that you suspected and what moved you away from, put you on the road, so to speak, rather than have you invent a new plot?
Probably, yeah, like something along the lines of supporting terrorist organizations
terrorist,
in order to like give Mars an enemy and like unite the people against.
Yeah. Okay. That I think is neat. So you had some general suspicions about that, maybe something solid that set you on the road. but Omala has in effect confirmed that. So I guess that's
So-
what you have on them.
RaeDawn.
But I'll be honest with
That's
you,
it.
you won't know how effective that is
No, it-
until you have to press the button on it.
RaeDawn.
So I guess what I'm
Hmm.
tempted to do here is we could spend the next 30 minutes having a theoretical conversation about whether Mars will buckle, whereas actually you have no idea.
Yeah, we're just having a talk.
You know, I don't
Well-
want to cut it off, but I don't know where this is taking us in terms of the plot.
I'm just gonna like state
This is-
like Kit's position. Like, why do you suppose I didn't go public with what I know when I left? Because as much as I hate what my government did, they're not wrong about the trouble it'll cause. Good people are gonna get hurt. Riots, unrest.
That's not the question I asked. It's a simple question.
I'm not hearing the simple question. I'm getting lost in the
that's-
rhetoric, RaeDawn.
That's because, Galen, let me speak. Let me. Let me just speak, and it's coming out. Whether we do this for them or not, we never getting out from under their thumb, and we never getting out from risk of they killing us, unless you have something on them and you threaten to use it. You willing to do that?
I don't see that we have much choice at this point.
Felix, you put something in the chat. Do you want to put your 5 penneth worth in now?
Oh, I was just going along with what you were suggesting. That yeah, this is what Felix was suggesting earlier. We have, confirmation that there's something internally with MCRN supporting OPA terrorists. So I think in this moment in the scene, Felix just like walks up to Kit, heavy clap of his hand on their shoulder, and says,
It's settled then. Let's call the general back.
All right.
RaeDawn, any objection at this point?
This better work.
Let's see if it does. Kit?
I'll call the general back and tell her that we're in.
Major Omala is impressed that Felix thinks that she's a general, but that's fine. Major Omala comes on. Decision made, Kit?
So are we using the leverage now? Is that what we agreed to? Or are we?
I mean, you can try. There's negotiate terms as a move. Oh, Sophia.
I think Sophia, perhaps before the call, makes the suggestion, and this is something that I think is in Sophia's wheelhouse, is setting up a dead man's handle. So if the ship goes off the transponder network for more than a day, if any of us fail to check in, everything we have on them comes out. So that's my.
I think that's neat.
My offer to set that up is
Yeah.
what I put to the group.
And that will include the copy you will still have, I dare say, of everything that happened on the asteroid. I dare say the recording that you have surreptitiously made of Major Omala, and any testimony that Roberta Ashang is prepared to do. Yeah?
Yep.
Fine. I have no problem with that. So you have a dead man's handle to confront Major Omala with if you want to, Kit.
We're gonna do what you asked us to, but we want some insurance that you're never gonna call us again. So here's
never's a long time, Kit.
Here's how this is gonna work. We do this for you. We walk away. Anything happens to any of us, our ship goes off the network. We don't check in for after a certain amount of time. Certain documents are going to be made public to the Martian people.
Okay, I think this is a straightforward negotiate terms, which was a move that we could have used in a previous negotiation, but I've just found it. So this is in the move special and commerce. When you commit to a contract, meet your blah, 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 negotiate terms, roll with disposition. I think disposition is +1 with Omala, because to be honest, she probably doesn't have that many options in play right now.
Did Sophia want to make a roll to support this?
I think that, yeah, that's that. Why not? Let's use lean on me to give you advantage conceivably, because maybe Sophia can get some evidence to Omala that this is a real dead man's handle.
Mhm.
So roll.
Is this? Did you already roll those dice, Trev?
I haven't rolled yet.
No.
Okay, perfect. I'll just roll the same ones.
So roll lean on me. Roll plus stalwart.
That is a 9, if I have my stalwart stat right. Yes, that is a 9.
On 7 to 9, you do what you can, choose 2. I think the only particularly one we're interested in here is they have advantage going forward.
Yep.
But just for the sake of argument, they may clear 1 stress.
I think that I think that could make sense if Kit is relieved that that the crew's backing them up.
That makes narrative sense to me. So you're rolling with advantage to negotiate.
All right. I'll make my dice green so you can tell it apart. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8.
8 plus 1, I think, for
9.
your disposition. 9. On 7 to 9, you manage to get a small concession. Choose 1, and the list is better payment, gain some useful information. You get an upfront expense payment or resource provided, or given this is a special circumstance, you get the best guarantee you can.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hope Major Omala isn't replaced anytime soon. Then she will tell you that in the next hour, a pallet of apparently nondescript goods will arrive. In that pallet, you will find some MRCN supplies to be delivered to a reference she'll give you in one of Jupiter's trojans, trailing trojans, which is where they believe that the head of the anarcho-OPAL cell, one Marcus Lung, is located. And also in there is a one-use plug-in for your transponder, which will, on approach, indicate that you are traveling on behalf of the MRCN. That ought to get you in, says Omala. But she has no intelligence on what any arrangements after that. But you will need to find Lung and end him. Anyone got any questions, or is that a fairly clear mission briefing? Yeah, okay.
Are we going to cut till after the supplies arrive when we come back? Because I presume there's a break happening.
Yeah, I am keen to get to a break, but I'm keen to know what's happening after it.
Sophia is concerned basically about this this transponder upgrade, wondering whether that's the only thing that does, or whether it's a tracker or a virus infecting our systems. I want an opportunity to scope that stuff out, basically.
But you're not going to do that before you set off, I guess, because you've got quite a long trip to Jupiter to make. Yeah. Felix, anything else before we take a break?
Nope.
RaeDawn, anything else before we take a break? You are muted, Brandon. I don't know if you're saying anything.
I'm good. Sorry, I'm having controls trouble.
Okay, then it is 11 minutes past the hour now. Can we be back in our seats at 20 past the hour and we'll pick up from there? Okay, I will pause the recording as long as you promise to tell me to restart. Okay, we're back after our break. And I think probably then the logical order to come at this is to begin with, I think we'll do the Epstein drive last. So yeah, let's treat this as a downtime activity. So let me go, as I see you on my screens in a vaguely anti-clockwise manner. RaeDawn, how do you make use of the time on board during the trip?
Well, let me see. May want to figure out some more about this this here bug. Now what we got, the extra information from Roberta.
I don't know. Yeah, go on.
But if they ain't enough to go on with that, then we want to have the little talk with Kid.
I think probably, you know, I'm not entirely clear. I get the feeling that you mark your personal project clock when you take a successful action that moves you towards your goal. So what I'm thinking of here is that you use scope it out. I'll let you roll with advantage because you've got one of the things I told you you would need, i.e. the biologist. So if you roll successfully with that, then we'll advance the clock by a tick. Yeah?
Sure.
Okay, so let's have you roll with calculating to scope it out.
Okay, and you get advantage.
Oh, wow. Is that 1, 2, and 2?
It is that's a fail even with a +2.
Okay, so on 6 minus, ask 1, but you won't like the answer. I am going to advance the clock 1, but you have noticed that despite your best efforts, the proto-roach is beginning to burrow out. Despite the fact you've used the best technology you had on hand, it looks like the same process is going on, because Roberta will say something like, oh shit, yeah, that happened. That probably explains why you encountered them, because we thought we had a sealed system, and then one day we found one of them got out. Now, you know, we fumigated everything, but yeah, I don't know what you do about that. Okay, so things have got worse, but you have made progress in your analysis of the proto-roaches. Swings and roundabouts. Let's move to Sophia. Sophia, how do you want to spend your downtime activity on board?
So I'm very suspicious of this pallet, and I want to scope it out for 2 things. One, I'm suspicious that the transponder add-on is contains something that's going to get into the ship systems and track, give remote control to MCRN, kind of whatever. And I also think I want to know if there's a tracker in the supplies.
Okay, so that is scope it out. And do you have a scanner? I think you do these days, don't you?
I do have a scanner.
Which, does that, you burn a use of your scanner to get advantage? Is that the way it works?
I don't No, because I never found any reference to a scanner in any of the
That makes
moves,
sense
but
to
that
me,
seems reasonable.
doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I'll burn a use there. That seems a good use for it. So
Yeah. So roll with advantage to scope it out.
So that is a rolling with calculating. That is an 11, I believe.
Well, on 10 plus, your investigation pays off, asks 3 questions. And there is a long list of them, but you know,
let me have a look at those.
But feel free to ask me the freeform questions that you'd already kind of phrased.
Yeah, I think that falls under what here is not what it appears to be. Asked about the transponder.
The transponder seems to be a genuine one-shot spoof. And I've taken the liberty of adding it to your ship facilities. MRCN spoof transponder, single use. When you switch it on to mislead other ships and stations, discharge the module and roll with slick. Yeah.
Well, color Sophia surprised. And then also the same question, but about whether there's anything tracking, anything not what it seems about the supplies for the OPA. I'm thinking that they might be using us to smuggle something into the OPA. This isn't necessarily something directed at us here.
Okay. Again, I've taken the liberty of adding to your standard cargo bay cheap rubbish to cover for the real cargo. And I've taken the liberty of adding to the hidden compartment on your ship contraband in the shape of MRCN supplies, which appear to be kosher, apart from the fact that, yes, indeed, there is a tracking device in there. I guess Omala wants to know if you take it where you're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can tell me what you do about that shortly.
Yeah.
But you do have a third question, if there's something you can think of.
Okay, let me have a quick look at that. I forgot that it was 3. 3 is a lot. Ooh, let's just go. What here will give me an edge? That's a good question.
I guess that there is not just you opened one crate on the asteroid and you found kind of routine food satchels and stuff like that. It was pretty low threat stuff. But I think that in this package, you will find some weaponry. And I guess the edge it could get you is, rather than handing it over to anyone you like at the dock, wherever you're going, or whoever receives you, maybe insisting that is handed over to Marcus Lung might be the edge. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Felix, how do you want to spend the time between Ceres and the trailing Jupiter Trojans?
So I'm interested in the oh, I just lost it. The confront a crew member with a grievance, but I want to throw something out there. Maybe we can tweak this. It doesn't specify it has to be a grievance with that crew member. That possibly it's a grievance with an outside party, and I think there's an interesting connection here of Felix and Sophia with this OPA terrorist cell that's also possibly wrapped up in these kidnappings. And I'm just, I don't know. I think I would like to, have a moment with Sophia, just expressing that. We've got to make the bastards pay. I know they've brought hell to your life, and they've done the same to me.
Yeah, Sophia's in agreement here, just kind of nodding, I think raises her glass to that.
So let's keep an eye on Kit, make sure nothing weird goes there. But let's hit him where it hurts.
think Sophia's feeling a bit back in the game here. Is kind of think Sophia's excited about being back in the game. Actually, kind of was getting a bit going a bit stir crazy, kind of laying low on a ship, kind of something to investigate, to get my teeth into is good.
So I already have a hook for this, but I think so. If Sophia wants to write a hook, I believe the move allows for that as well.
So do you want to remind us of the hook you specifically?
Yep, it says I have an unsettled score with a narco OPA terrorist cell.
And my hook at the moment says, one of my hooks says the search for the people who disappeared has made me the target of Pinkwater security. I think, given that adds another element in play, I think that Pinkwater security is just a hired element here. That the people, they're not necessarily directly involved in this. They were targeting me because I got too close to MRCN and Inarco. So I'll think of another hook connected with the Inarco terrorist cell.
Are you telling me that you don't want Pinkwater to be involved in this, or that you do want Pinkwater to be involved in this episode?
I don't mind whether they're involved in this episode. I think I'm saying that Pinkwater were involved, but I think it probably makes sense for them to be kind of peripheral, kind of hired hand in this, because I think we've got enough elements in play already, honestly.
Okay, so there, if they are involved, there is unknowing dupes. Okay, yeah, fine. And finally, Kit, what do we see of you on the journey to the trailing Trojans?
So I think Kit is. I think Kit is going to also use the. Let's see, where's the downtime? Yeah. Confront a crew member with a grievance or disagreement.
Who's in that scene?
I want to get RaeDawn in the scene.
Okay. Yeah. Where does this take place?
I think it's in the galley. I think Kit has taken out a secret stash of, quality Martian whiskey, and is just pouring themselves a glass, and maybe when RaeDawn comes in, puts down another glass as a offer.
Holding out on us again, eh?
Saving it for a special occasion. This might as well. This is as good a time as any to use it.
Got any more secrets? What we ought to be knowing about? Me had you back for so long now, and you never breathed no word. What the fuck?
I think we were both keeping secrets from one another. Let's be clear.
This bug.
I'm not just talking about the bug.
What? Do you think on Haven? That not secret. Fucking all over in your media. You wanted for blowing up no ship. What my family got killed in. That ain't no secret. What kind of secret are you talking about?
I got a lot of secrets, and
I only got one secret. What I never told you.
For your protection, I never told you any of them.
Fuck my protection. You ain't.
But this thing you brought aboard this ship.
You ain't me dad nor me mom. You said that
the inners couldn't contain it. Look at the mess that it caused on Eros. What makes you think you can contain it?
That wasn't one fucking bug. There was a whole experiment gone wrong. There was maybe someone what infected with it, what escaped.
You have no idea how this thing works. It could just be one bug. One bug could be all it takes for another Eros.
One bug plus a lot of stupidity. And they have in the laboratory in the middle of a big inhabited place. Don't you be trying to put this on me. You ain't spoke nothing about what I ask you.
What was I supposed to tell you?
Just say something. I only ever have one secret from you. And I only kept it to myself because it wasn't no good enough for it to tell you.
Maybe I didn't tell you who I was because I didn't want you to think differently of me. I'm not proud of anything.
And now what we know this secret, you gonna be surprised if you may think differently from you?
No. That's exactly why I didn't want to tell anybody. I just want you to be Kit.
You don't.
I just wanted to quiet life.
You big, you stupid bastard. Why you think that matters? I only ever had one secret from you. And I think that secret is that he wanted you from first when I laid my eyes on you. And I never done told you that because I was pretty damn sure you didn't think so too. You think fucking being refugee from MRCN would have made any fucking difference to me, hey? You could have been anything, anyone. It wouldn't have made no difference. Not trusting me, that the hard pill to swallow. Not your background. Because we trusted you. And now we find out, oh, they just paint arrow on me back. Like I don't have enough room on there for more.
Can I just check? This seems to have shifted from confront somebody to spend time getting closer to a crew member. Am I right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with this information, Kit?
RaeDawn is just staring out, just staring out into space. What do you do when you don't want to see somebody else's reaction to what you're saying?
Sorry, what?
RaeDawn's staring out into space the way you do when you don't want to see the reaction to somebody else's reaction to what you're saying. So, Dale.
I'd be lying if I said I hadn't noticed. But as you know, a lot of secrets, and I didn't want you to get. I didn't want you to put your hopes on me.
Well, you fucked up then. Because I done put my hopes on you a bunch of time ago. know what we're supposed to.
But
I'm feeling that scene is kind of, that's a good place to leave it. Or do you want to answer the question, Kit?
I didn't quite hear the question.
I said, now what me supposed to do?
Let's just get through this job, and then we can figure out the rest afterwards.
I think that's scene.
Okay. Don't have much choice.
I think that was spend time getting closer to a crew member, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So you may each choose to heal one stress or have advantage going forward. Kit, which one do you choose?
I'll heal some stress.
Okay. RaeDawn, what do you choose?
Me also.
Okay. So we are, the last thing I want to do is that Sophia's filled you in on the nature of the transponder. It seems kosher, but there is a tracker in the material, in the cargo. Sophia, I need to know what you're doing with the tracker.
Ideally, it runs through my head that I'd really like to be able to spoof this tracker, but I don't think I've got the skills for doing that with MCRN military technology. I think I'm going to settle for just being able to read the tracker as well.
Yeah, it is simply the occasional burst of transmission, just revealing where it is.
Mm-hmm. And so do we get where it is now as well?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Now you know it's there.
Okay.
I don't see why you can't tune into it.
Sure.
Okay.
I think that's
So,
all I'm looking for.
Okay, so let's cut to oh no, sorry, I need to do that bloody Epstein drive. Okay, I think that probably anything to do with the technology comes down to RaeDawn. When you plot a course to your destination and engage your Epstein drive, roll with alien, RaeDawn.
Will do. That's an 8.
Okay, you get there, but choose one. Trouble has caught up with you. The SM will tell you what. Your ship sustained 1 damage during the trip.
Sorry, trouble. What was the center option?
Trouble has caught up with you. I will tell you what.
Okay.
Or your ship sustained 1 damage during the trip.
I'm going to narratively defer to you, Alan.
Because
of the yes, because we have trouble waiting for us where we're going.
Yeah, that's true.
Trouble catching to us where we're going might be piling on. So I'll say that we'll encounter some damage then.
Okay, fine. So mark damage, superficial damage, I guess, gets marked. Maybe a rather bigger hit than from an asteroid. It's okay. You've got plenty of scope left for damage to the ship, and in this series, I'm not going to engage in space battles.
Yeah,
it's too dangerous. So let us cut to you approaching this asteroid in the trailing Trojans, which Omala gave you a reference to. And do you switch on the transponder, Sophia? You've been examining it. Are you content just to switch it on when you come within any kind of reasonable range? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And so you will get a broadcast from your destination that says, this is the Lung clan family holding. Can you confirm that we are your destination and your intention, please? RaeDawn? Because you're the belter, or do you defer to the Martian? What do you think, RaeDawn?
In terms of the transponder?
No, in terms of responding to this, which is now telling them that you are associated with MRCN intelligence.
That's our transponder that's doing that, yes? Yes,
Yes.
our planted transponder.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to interfere with that. That's our cover.
So Kit, do you respond as the Martian? And if so, what do you say?
This is Lieutenant Kit Parker, MCRN, delivering some supplies to you.
It's about fucking time. We have a lot to replace because they'll believe the transponder. So I will mark a getting in on the clock. And they will give you instructions for where to dock. And this is, there is a kind of mating dock, so you won't have to go into spacesuits. Does anybody want to do anything else in preparation, or do we cut to airlock doors opening? Okay, airlock door. Oh, go on.
I'm probably going to have my sniper rifle ready.
Just sorry, RaeDawn. It sounded like you had something in mind.
No, good to go.
Okay. So again, remember, you don't have to make any declarations about your equipment specifically. I think I will say, Kit, that my recollection is the sniper rifle is very obvious. So conspicuous is the word I think that the rules use. So are you going to have that fully on display? Because it's a pretty dangerous weapon to flash about.
Yeah, I think I want to have it like in a box or something that I can get access to.
It came in a very attractive little attaché case, as I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. And the rest of you, I think it probably is important, actually. First impressions could count here. I think I am going to have to ask you, for instance, anything that's marked conspicuous. So, Felix, are you wearing your paramilitary riot gear, for instance?
Yeah, so I was just positing that I think since we're posing as MCRN, I don't think it would be that abnormal that we'd be, at least somewhat armed and geared. So I think I will have my at least protective equipment on. I don't know that I'll be flashing the assault rifle.
No, but then the assault rifle conveniently is not conspicuous. So I don't need to know about that.
Oh,
it surprises me, but it's true. RaeDawn, is there anything conspicuous on your list that they would see immediately? I'm not spotting anything.
No, I have nothing conspicuous. I'm clearly a tech.
Fine. And we know you have the sniper rifle because you have this carrying case, but it's probably just in a rucksack or something. Yeah. So it is not conspicuous, but it will take time to put together. Fair enough, Kit? Okay. There's nothing else conspicuous you have. Sophia, anything conspicuous that you are wearing?
I think I'm wearing my military backsuit. I think that it's... I know that Felix is in riot gear rather than a vac suit, and a vac suit is kind of rather a lot. I'm wondering if I can just kind of wear the torso part of it for like one less absorption. It's like I've kind of, you know, in the show when you have people with kind of the Martian military suits kind of like half on when they're in kind of atmosphere environments. I'm kind of wonder whether I can do that.
I'll let you do that. You can take the chest and thorax pieces off, I guess, and just use that as a glorified stab vest, to be honest. So I'm going to give you ballistic stab vest times 2.
Okay.
Yeah, because then we've got something to hang it on. Felix.
Sorry, I was just going to interject. I misspoke. I'm not going to go in the riot gear because the riot gear I think would be overkill. I'll do what Sophia's doing with the military vac suit, but like slightly stripped down. So I'll take the same deal.
Okay, fine. I mean, yeah, okay. I don't think the riot gear is over the top. I don't think you need to be worried about that.
I think it works out to the same effect. So
fine. So 2 times stab vest instead. Okay. There are a group of belters on the other side of the airlock. The guy who's in charge says, okay, hand it over. Just wheel it out. And they will help you wheel out these pallets of supplies, unless you have anything else in mind. Kit, again, you're playing the Martian. Well, you're not playing the Martian. You are the Martian in this conversation. So what do we see you doing?
So what would the procedure be here normally?
I think that's the difficulty. You don't know what the procedure in these handovers are. Omala couldn't help you. Sophia did identify the edge, which is that one of these crates has got weapons in it, and that might allow you to insist on a direct handover to Lung rather than just wheeling off the ship and waving goodbye.
I gotta sign off on this. Like I gotta have a sign off in this with the man in charge.
Why? That's not the way it usually works, says the guy who appears to be in charge. Though does not fit the picture you've been sent, a slightly grainy picture of Marcus Lung.
We're getting some heat off of we're getting some heat off of the command. We need to at least make this look like it's above board.
I think this is probably manipulate or intimidate.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you choose to use? It sounded more like manipulate to me.
Manipulate, yeah.
So roll with slick.
Okay.
Felix, do you want to offer to look intimidating and give an option of lean on me here?
I would be completely up for that.
Okay, let's have you roll with stalwart to see whether you can pass an advantage on to our friend Kit.
Yeah, because that's an 8 so far.
My roll is a 9.
So you can choose to pass advantage on, which would be no bad thing, and some relief. Kit may clear 1 stress if they want to. Yeah?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Now you see, wasn't that just worthwhile?
All right. So
the burly ex-Marine looks the Martian part, it appears, because all inners look the same. So what does that turn into? That turns into a good roll, doesn't it?
11, yep.
Okay, so on 10 plus, they choose 1, accept your offer at face value and agree to the exchange, ask you to promise something, and we'll do what you want if they agree. I think that they'll go with that because maybe they know what's in those containers. So let me mark getting in. You've got past the approach. You've got past the docking bay. Felix,
as we're moving through, this is like a base on an asteroid, right? Did I get
It's
that
tunneled
right?
into the asteroid.
As we're moving in and moving further into this complex, I'd like to be looking around for just notes on like the infrastructure of, are there generators that seem to be powering the complex? What are the core, any sort of critical infrastructure I can identify?
That sounds like scope it out. Roll with calculating.
Ooh, I think that's going to be an 11 because I upgraded my calculate. No, I upgraded my slick. That's okay. That's still a 10.
Okay, your investigation pays off. Ask 3 questions.
Okay. What here will give me an edge?
I think that probably they have taken you at face value. Only the Martian has opened their mouth so far. They probably nod, kind of pleasantly to RaeDawn, and ignore the rest of you. So I think the edge is that you probably have a degree of surprise working for you at this point. Yeah? Another 2 questions?
Let's go ahead and ask, what is my best escape route back out?
I think it probably has to be the way you've come in, because there is a mating corridor between you and the ship now, and because you're not clumping around in vac suits, you'd need to find vac suits, find another way out, and find another way back to the ship. So I think the simple answer is back the way you've come. And so I think in terms of, I will allow you to know the way out because it's the same way you came in.
Yep. And I think for the third, I'm going to go with what here could be a useful opportunity. And if I may, I'm particularly keen on what's a good opportunity for destroying this complex.
I think you see a lot of conduits, a lot of cabling is running down a side passage. And that suggests that at one end of that cabling is either some kind of control engineering space or something like a small fusion reactor or a more traditional form of power supply. Okay? RaeDawn, I'm interested to know how you are reacting to, perceived by these belters.
How am I perceived by them belters?
How are you coming across to them? What do we see you doing?
Okay, well, you don't like these people, but you don't have to show them that. So we give them the fist bump, the sneering sidelong look at the Inyas when they talk. And sort of the nonverbal communication that goes, okay, they're paying for this, so they get to talk, but that don't mean we have any respect for them.
I'm curious, if one of them makes to enter into conversation with you, do you engage or do you keep it professional?
No, I talk to him.
And he kind of whispers, he says, well, we never seen belters with, make these deliveries. You working for MRCN?
They don't know the ass from the elbow.
So who are you with? The implication being, so which bit of the OPA are you with?
Why, you recruiting?
Well, no, we just thought it was just us. But if you're involved with this, then they must be supplying other cells, other factions. Just
where it looks like they got their hands in all sorts of pockets. They come in with with a shitload of money, you know.
So who
And I'm with the one of the movers on series. What, you know what I mean? Don't like say names out loud.
I think that I'll let him say so. Anderson Dawes in this too.
I didn't say
Shit.
that. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I know that. Yeah. Sophia, what do we see of you as you're led into this this set of tunnels?
I think that you see my eyes kind of on a swivel, and I'm looking for kind of opportunities to slip away, investigate stuff, kind of do some sleuthing, but I don't think I see any right now because we're being led down this corridor. So I'm kind of, you see me looking around, but clearly kind of like looking for opportunities, but I think I'm just kind of playing the muscle at this point.
Yeah, I think they'll assume, like they assume Felix is, that because you're a first generation belter, so they're probably thinking that you're an inner too. And that's the point at which you come up to another security checkpoint, and there's a conversation between your escort, because I think escort rather than led. I think you're right, Sophia. And an exchange that goes along the lines of, well, the inner says that he needs to hand these over. He needs to be signed off on this. He says he needs to see Marcus. And the other says, no, that can't, no, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. RaeDawn, is there anything you can do to help here?
Think Brandon had to go away for a moment, says in the chat. That was actually to me privately for some reason, but yeah, I'll be right back from Brandon.
Okay, so Kit and Felix, how are you confronting this? Because I get the fear Sophia is playing reserve here. So Felix, what are you saying, doing when it looks like you're not going to be allowed through?
I think Felix puts on the like busy delivery man act, like, y'all stop jerking our chain. Come on, you know you've got a lot of expensive stuff that we brought here. We got to hand it off straight to Marcus. We just need a signature and then we're out. We got other stuff to do. Come on.
Does that sound like you're trying to manipulate them, or help Kit manipulate them, or are you trying to intimidate them?
I don't think this is intimidate at this point. I am happy to support or do the lead manipulate role.
Then let's have you roll manipulate. Kit, how can you use lean on me to give Felix an edge in this, because he's opened the kind of the conversation?
I think Kit is just impatient, like Lieutenant, and just like presses the buzzer like that they were using to communicate on the other side. Look, as I told your friend here, we got pressure from up top right now, and we gotta make sure this thing looks good on the books.
Okay, then let's have you roll to lean on me. I just need to check. Brandon, are you back? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, fine. So they're having trouble at a security checkpoint. I know what Felix and Kit are doing, which is to try and kind of press the kind of shit, come on, pull your finger out. Does RaeDawn choose to intervene, or does she let this play out?
Repeat, I'm sorry. I got
Oh, okay. So there's a security check, and it looks like they're not inclined to let you through to meet Marcus. And Kit and Felix are playing the, come on, look, we're in a hurry here. This is, you know, blah, blah, blah. Is there anything RaeDawn wants to do to make this any simpler?
In terms of being set
Convincing them to let you through, or doing something else?
Oh, to let us through. Oh yeah. It's like, yeah, he's got, I'm gonna bang my fist against a bulkhead and go, you guys fucking want to have this argument? Okay. We want fucking go back to series and tell them you fucking done held us up on this. You really want that?
Okay, because this is belter on belter. I'm going to give you advantage to lean on me to roll with stalwart, and then we'll see what impact that has on Felix's effort to manipulate.
Okay. Okay. 1, 2, and a third blue tie. And so rolling advantage, stalwart, I have a 7.
7. Choose 2. So your efforts help them. They have advantage. Your support brings some relief. They, i.e. Felix, may clear 1 stress, or you aren't pushed with to your limits or exposed to danger or complications from what's going to happen next.
I am exposed to complications.
Okay, so
what happens next? And so I'm not going to pick that one. I'm going to pick the others.
Okay, so Felix, clear 1 stress, and also you have advantage going forward. So let's see how your manipulate goes then, Felix, because I think you went with manipulate, not intimidate. Roll with slick, but with advantage.
Yep, and that'll be an 8.
On 79, choose 1. They make a counter offer to be settled now before they do what you want, ask you to promise something and provide concrete assurance you'll follow through and they'll do what you want. I think they make a counter offer, which is that they'll bring Marcus's deputy here. How does that play, Felix?
I think we have to escalate this. I think Felix turns to Kit and it's just gonna be like, all right, these guys aren't serious. Come on, let's pack it up. Let's take it back. I mean, y'all can deal with Marcus later on.
This guy's about to put his finger on a wall communicator to say, you know, get so-and-so down here. So Felix, you've given Kit the look, but what do you actually do?
So to make sure I understand the stakes, they're about to call this second in command
to come and sign it off for you.
Right. I guess we'll take that. I don't know. We're rolling with it.
Okay, so Felix doesn't act. He's prepared to let things continue. What about Sophia?
I think, so we've kind of burnt manipulate, really, haven't we?
You've burnt that, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if it's intimidate to basically. I think it's kind of intimidate to open the crate here, kind of like just kick the crate open, pull out a grenade and kind of the highest impact weapon in the thing and say, you really want to give these up? You really say you don't need these?
Roll with volatile, please.
That is a 13.
I think the guy's finger just stops as it's about to hit the and I think on a 10+, they have to choose one. Force you to follow through and suck it up. I don't think that's going to happen. Cave in and do what you want. So I will mark another segment on the getting in clock, and you are led into what looks like a conference room, I guess. Pretty crudely put together. Lots of no oak desk here. This is all just cobbled together from scrap. But sitting at the end of the table is someone who certainly looks like the grainy photograph you have of Marcus Leung. RaeDawn, what do you do when you come into the room?
I'm sorry, I was offline for just a second. Could you?
Okay, you've been led into the presence of Marcus Leung. What do you do?
Shit. Who's the one who's in charge here, or nominally in charge here?
Yeah, and your target.
Our target.
I suppose I'm coming to you first because I'm interested in what a proper belter lauda individual does when push comes to shove in an assassination of another belter.
Oh, I mean, I hate this guy. But
Fine.
I am. So I mean, I'm not trying to stop anybody else doing their job.
That's good enough for me at this point.
So yeah, I just shoot him a glare of pure malevolence.
Okay, and hope he doesn't notice before Felix draws a gun.
Yes.
All right. So have we agreed that we're gonna do this like exactly what they said? Yeah.
Oh, I sorry. Yeah, I assumed that when you agreed to the mission, you'd agree to the mission.
Okay.
I guess it's down now to me going around you individually to see who does what. I know what RaeDawn's doing. I want to go to Felix next.
Okay.
He's the Marine.
Well, so is it just us and Marcus, or there's some complement of other people in here with us?
There are the 3 people who escorted you, him, and 2 other people. So there are 6 of them. 3 at your end of the table who've come in with you and are still technically, inverted commas, escorting you. And there are 3 at the other end of the table.
I think Felix hangs back just briefly as the group enters the room and maybe even says, "Do it, Kit," and then I'm gonna secure the exit way to make sure no one comes running back out the door.
I just want to remind you that the arrangement we came to with Kit and his sniper rifle, or their sniper rifle, was that they would need a moment to put it together. So
then I'm interested in this flashback idea, Sophia.
Go for it, Sophia.
So I wonder if we could have a flashback of potentially Felix and me rigging up some of the grenades in the box of weapons to remote detonate.
You could try that. I think the risk is, will you be certain that you'll take out Leung? It's a neat idea, but I don't see how you can know he's dead.
I was thinking in terms of knowing he's dead. I'm thinking we don't necessarily make a massive explosion. We get him to sign off on it. We leave the room just as the door closes. We blow the entire room and then make a run for it.
you know, if that's what you want to do, I
Still,
guess.
So
you still don't know if he's dead, though. It's not a
I
good.
actually had another idea.
Yeah,
Kit.
go with Kit.
So in the same flashback, that discussion has gone on, and now Kit says,
So I think that's a good distraction. Like to create chaos, help us make our getaway. But I can take care of Long.
"Okay,
Oh, you need a distraction? Let me give an in-character distraction, if I may.
Kit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kit just needs a
RaeDawn,
distraction, right?
Start
Okay.
distracting.
All right. All right. Well, Marcos, you fucking, you sabaka bastard.
I think
Don't let me think. You think you can sit here and smile when we know what for who blew up Ship Caven, and don't fucking blame it on innocent belters what never had nothing to do with it. Yeah, sure. The security team shouldn't have been there, but who paid them off, and who fly the pirate ship? Okay, it's fucking open secret that it was you.
I think that the way to do this is mechanically is to lean on me to see whether you can give Kit an advantage. Yeah?
Yeah.
Or have you got a better idea mechanically?
I'm basically, this is, I mean, this is a verbal attack.
Yeah.
On him.
Just in terms of the outcome.
In terms of the outcome, mechanically, it's either that or it's share expertise. Because I know, I'm pretty sure that I know what happened in the attack on Haven, even if no one believes me.
I have to say, I think that the impact you're aiming for is to actively create an advantage for Kit. So I think it is lean on me. So roll plus.
But I believe I can do that with.
Oh, you can, because you've got that move, haven't you? Okay.
Yes, I
roll
do.
with calculating. Have you calculated this assault?
Oh yeah, no. This is very, very deliberately aimed to try and get his goat, and it's a 10.
Okay, ask a question. Is he distracted? You ask me. And I say,
right, does
yes.
he turn his full attention and anger on me?
Yeah, and I think it is also that his goons move towards you, seeing you as a threat rather than Kit. So Kit, what do you do?
So I was on my way over with like a pen and clipboard to get the sign off. And while this distraction is going on, I close the distance, and the pen is kind of like a. I want to say it's like my concealed, basically melee weapon. Yeah, and I'm just gonna stab it in the throat.
And the audience was waiting for the sniper rifle.
Yeah.
So therefore, presumably, so were all the opposition. So I think you are rolling Alpha Strike with calculating, aren't you?
I don't need to roll.
Oh, of course not. You've got that move.
He is a fucking assassin after all.
And they can't do anything to stop you. Discharge this move and describe how you end their existence.
Fine. So mark distraction. You just killed Marcus Lung, and chaos erupts. Felix, what do you do as you close the door behind everyone?
Yeah, no one's leaving this room, and I'm gonna draw my gun and start shooting at the people moving in on RaeDawn.
Fine. Let's have you engage in, well, I don't know. Are you Juggernaut, Stoic Wall, or just straightforward firefight?
I think at this moment it's firefight.
Okay, go with firefight. By the way, you have now completed the getting in clock. Can I just check in? I'm loath to have a break because we're in mid-flow, but should I put a break in now, or do we play to completion?
No break.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Okay, fine. Let's push on. Okay, let's push on. Felix, Do your thing with firefight.
Yep, that is a 12.
Oh, exchange harm and choose 3. So I think harm is 1, which is, pistol shots. You're wearing what amounts to 2 layers of body armor, aren't you? 1 visible, 1 hidden. So I think you can absorb one bullet of pistol shot, can't you?
Yep. I'm actually gonna. So we said the assault rifle isn't conspicuous, so I'll pull out the assault rifle.
Absolutely. No, they're pistol armed at this point, I think.
Yeah. So I'm dealing 2 harm. And then for the options, let's say I impress, dismay, or frighten my enemy.
I bet you do.
Hold a position or halt in advance.
So I think you scare the living shit out of the other 2 that are coming for RaeDawn by putting 1 down in the blink of an eye. So their advance on RaeDawn is slowed, and they are frightened of you.
And I'll play it cagey and suffer -1 harm.
Fine. That shot goes wild into the bulkhead above you. Sophia, what do you do?
I think under the cover of Felix's distraction, I am looking out, looking to cover our retreat, kind of seeing whether there's more goons running down the corridor, for example.
That sounds like scope it out.
Uh-huh.
Roll plus calculating at the door.
And if I can actually select both, that is a 5 plus my calculating, which is 2. Ooh, 7.
Nice.
Just.
Close thing. So to paraphrase the questions, are there other reinforcements coming?
Yep.
I think that once the gunfire starts, there is, we have to hear a klaxon go off, don't we?
Yeah.
So it isn't coming yet, but it's on its way. RaeDawn, what are you doing?
I have 2 goons coming after me.
You do.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna kick the nearest pieces of equipment over on into their way. Not really trying to do them harm, just trying to
Get in the way, yeah?
to get in their way and prevent them from hurting me.
Okay, that sounds like act quick.
It's pretty much act quick.
Go for it then. Roll with slick.
And here we go. 7.
7. You do it, but choose 1. You're off balance and rushed. You have disadvantage. You've left something behind. Can't see narratively that
No.
works much. You're pushed to your limits with the effect. Suffer stress.
I'll take a stress. Something here that's pretty heavy.
Okay. But you have put tables and some chairs between them and you. Kit, you're at the other end with a bleeding out Marcus Lung and 2 goons who are about to shoot at you. What do you do?
I'm gonna charge them with the knife, and I'm basically like,
The firefight covers all of this. It's any violence. So this is roll with volatile, Kit.
Okay. +0. Roll. That's a 7.
Breathing heavily. Exchange harm and choose 1. Both of them will shoot at you, so I think you're going to take 2 harm unless something else gets in the way. And you get to choose 1 of those bullet points.
As it were.
Okay. So I don't think the knife has a discharge option.
No, I don't think so.
So I think like let's see. I choose one. Impressed, dismay, or frightened.
Okay, so they are still in shock, I think. There's no mechanical effect from that, but I think it will hold them off for a round. I mean, I'm just wondering, do you want to disengage and take a moment to recover, for instance?
Yeah. Like that might be a good idea. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah. So there's that quick. What does that look like in the fiction? Because remember, we are in 0G technically here.
Right. So I think if they're in suits, like, you know, if there's
we're not in vacuum, but we
Okay.
are in 0G.
Okay, so in that case, I think like Kit uses the opportunity to like unbalance them and like send them spinning so that they're out of commission for a moment.
Fine. So this allows you to roll recover with stalwart.
All right. So that's stalwart is, I think it's a +1. Yeah. So reroll those. 5, 6, 7.
7?
Yep.
You take a little too long, choose 2, but your enemy gets a chance to get into a better position or prepare themselves. So which 2 of those bullets do you choose?
Ready. Choose 2. I'll shrug it off. Because let's see, what's 2 harm? Yeah, I'm just a scratch and I'm rattled. So
Are you not wearing any protection?
I haven't declared any yet.
Now would be the time. Are you wearing a concealed ballistic stab vest?
I think I would be wearing a vac suit just in case. Yeah.
Oh, a vac suit, not a stab vest.
I don't know if I have, like, I didn't.
Oh no, you didn't. Sorry, I've just realized. Sorry, I thought you did. I'm prepared for
share...
you.
Sorry, I was going to say if we can share gear.
I don't think you can technically.
Okay.
I'm very happy for you to have stripped off one piece of protection the way that Felix and Sophia have. So you have, in effect, you have a ballistic stab vest, which will give you 1 protection. Okay, so you're going to take 1 stress because both of them shot at you or engaged with you.
All right.
So does that help with the how you now make use of recover?
Yeah. Okay. So can I use ready a move weapon or a piece of gear that has been discharged?
Yeah, which is is that a sniper rifle? The audience is so keen for the sniper rifle that is the MacGuffin for most of this to be come into action, I have to tell you.
Yeah. So I'll bring that out.
Fine. When this was tested with the audience, the feedback was, but we wanted to see the sniper rifle. Okay, so in the time this buys, we see you snap together the sniper rifle. Let me go back round to Felix, I think.
So I think there is a hook that has come into play. I failed to mention the unsettled score with the narco OPA, but I think Felix pushes past that because of the termination. But I think now the Kit and I disagree on who makes the calls when in hot water. And I have to show them I'm the one for the job. So I think I'm going to call that into play. So I'll take a disadvantage on whatever my next roll happens to be.
Okay.
In the fiction, I think we see Felix yelling at everyone else now in the room saying, now is when we make our exit. And I'm holding that door to make sure it stays a viable exit for everyone.
Okay, so there are 2 who I think backed off from RaeDawn. One of them fires at Felix. The other one is going to fire at Sophia. So Felix, do you exchange fire or do you have another option in mind?
I think this is probably now when Stoic Wall comes into play, since I'm trying to hold that, keep that opening available for people.
Fine. So discharge this move and roll with Stalwart.
Oh no. Well, that's a miss.
Oh no. Is then nothing happens on a 6? I kind of hoped that something happened anyway.
It might be a prepare for the worst.
Yeah,
scenario.
I think it is. I think it is. I think one of them, seeing you as the person taking the lead, the one who was going to shoot at Sophia shoots at you instead. So you're going to take 2 harm.
Okay.
Sophia, you're not in hot water because one of them didn't fire at you. What do you do?
Where's everyone else's position now? Because I'm
Trev
looking to get. Sorry, go
on. You were at the door. Felix has now taken over at the door to try and keep the route out safe. RaeDawn is near you. There are 2 goons beyond RaeDawn who are shooting at you because they're not seeing her as a threat. And Kit is still nearer the other end of the room than you.
So I think I pull out my shotgun and what does the messy do in terms of weapons? I'm aware that I don't want to hit Kit.
I think that there is the outside possibility of that. So obviously, if you were to fail, I would put Kit in the blast because it is a spreading.
Let's take that risk because everything's going to hell. I'm going to shoot at those goons with my shotgun.
At the far end, that Kit managed to kind of throw off balance in the 0G. My
Yeah,
assumption is that you are magnetized to the floor unless you want to start doing acrobatics. But go
yeah,
ahead,
I imagine that kind of Kit has kind of thrown them off balance, so they're maybe a bit above and kind of like trying to get back in control, and I take that opportunity to
roll with
bring my
firefight.
shotgun to bear.
Roll with volatile.
And that is a 9.
A 9 on 79. Exchange harm and choose 1. So you will be taking 2 harm unless you have something between you and it. But what harm do you do?
I do 3 with the shotgun.
Does it have an area effect?
Let's have a look.
No, it's just messy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what the messy tag means.
Yeah. And I think you have the option to discharge your weapon to deal double harm, or include 2 in your targeting, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm going to discharge my shotgun and go for 3 harm on each of them.
I think I'm prepared to let that happen, and they are spread over the far wall and ceiling. Kit, you now have the sniper rifle, but before I ask you what you do with it, I come back to RaeDawn. There is some obstacles between you and 2 goons, RaeDawn, but because Sophia didn't fire at those, but fired at the ones threatening Kit.
BRB.
Oh, did he? Oh, sorry, right. Sorry, just noticed. Let me go to Kit then. There are 2 near RaeDawn who are the remaining threats in the room, apart from the klaxons outside, which Felix is saying, "Get the fuck out of here." What do you do, Kit?
So I'm gonna take. I'm gonna raise the sniper rifle and take aim at the ones that are on RaeDawn.
Fine. I think that is probably roll with volatile. But I don't think there's a threat on you because they haven't seen you coming yet.
Okay. That's 7.
7. Exchange harm. Well, we know that doesn't apply. You are applying how much harm? It's quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's. Let's see, where is it? Discharge. Yeah, free harm, 1 damage.
So do you want to, you get to choose one. Do you want to discharge your weapon, or does it have a discharge tag? I don't know.
It does.
And do double harm or equal harm on 2 targets close together. I've just invented
I'd like
that
to
rule.
do equal harm on 2 targets close together.
And I think pop, straight between the eyes on both of them has to be the impressive thing the audience see. And they just go lax with blood spooling around their heads. There is no threat in the room. You have marked the first of the getting out clock. Felix, you're at the door. What do you lead the way, or do you shepherd people out?
I am waving at RaeDawn and Kit to get their asses over here. Let's get down this hall. I'm gonna take the rear behind them.
Fine. So, Sophia, you're nearest the door. Do you leave?
I think I want to bring my hook into play here.
Go
which I will
on.
do anything. Which I've written recently based on the interaction earlier. I will do anything to get justice or revenge on the anarcho-OPA terrorist cell for the people who disappeared.
Okay.
And so I'm going to put the escape at risk by stopping to grab some explosives from the case of weapons, so that I have a chance to take down this base as well as just get out of here.
Okay. Fictionally, you've just added grenades to your gear list, yeah, and used up a space to do it with. So I think that probably is all 3 of yours used up, isn't it?
Yeah, vac suit, shotgun, and grenades. Yep.
Fine. I can't remember if grenades are anywhere. Yeah, there's grenades over there on Felix's sheet. So so you now
Brilliant,
have
I'll
access to
grab
that. And then Felix, Kit, I'm assuming you will leave with before Sophia, because she's rummaging around in the grenade boxes.
I think Trep also had to step away.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's assume that he's heard that. I'm going to have him leave and have RaeDawn leave, then Sophia and Felix. You're bringing up the rear, yeah.
Yep, and I think there's like a unspoken acknowledgement between Felix and Sophia about what they've got to do. So I'm happy to jump to that point where we probably turn.
I'm very happy to do that as well. So while Kit and RaeDawn head back down the corridor, where they are about to encounter some goons, I think, from that security station that you threatened past. What do we see Sophia and Felix doing? Felix, start with you.
So I think we're turning down that corridor that had all that cabling leading to engineering and maybe the heart of this complex.
Okay.
And yeah, Felix also is pulling. He's got his own grenades, so I'll go ahead and mark that on my sheet. And he's just saying to Sophia, "All right, pull the pins, shove it in whatever crooks and nannies we find, and then we're getting out of here."
And I think, Sophia, I will describe you entering what is indeed an engineering space, and 2 belters look up surprised. What do you do, Sophia?
Are these belters obviously armed?
Oh yeah, they're terrorists.
Okay. I think I haven't had any time to undischarge my shotgun, so I can't use my shotgun, can I?
That may explain why your hands are full of grenades.
Yes. I think I put my head down and just try and duck behind consoles and get the. I'm trying to avoid them rather than engage them at the moment.
Let's have you
roll. Trying to go with speed.
Let's have you roll to recover then.
Yep. That's that is what's recover with stalwart. That's a 6.
Oh my.
So I do not get to
You
recover.
don't. You just take some cover and get nothing for the benefit. Felix, what do you do?
I'll pull the assault rifle again and press forward. Maybe I don't think I've used Juggernaut. I'm going through this wall of force. I'm getting in there to plant these grenades. Hell be
Well,
damned.
Absolutely. When you move forward, unflinching towards a goal, go ahead. Roll with stalwart.
Okay. Okay, that's going to be an 8, and I'll discharge the move.
7 to 9, weariness creeps in at the edges. Mark 1 stress and choose 1.
It's got to be I clear or uncover a clear path for an ally, and they have advantage going forward to following me.
Okay, that being Sophia. So what do we see that clears this path then?
I think we see Felix pressing forward and exchanging fire, and there, this is where they poured the budget in. There's explosions from the consoles happening around him. He takes another shot or two to his chest, but he just continues pressing forward, even though he clearly is in pain.
We have to see some 0G combat from
yeah.
the UN Marine, don't we? So yeah, I think there are some assaults which involve belters being thrown away from where Sophia needs to get to. Kit, just to be clear, you suddenly become available as you come around the corner to the security station that you intimidated your way past, that Felix and Sophia have gone down a side passageway. What do you do, Kit?
I guess I'll buy, I'll secure an exit for whatever they're doing.
Because inevitably, when you come around that corner, you're met with a hail of fire from the security goons. So these goons on the security station. So I think this is either you act quick to get out of the line of fire, or you exchange fire. Which?
I'm going to exchange fire.
Okay. Did you discharge the sniper rifle? You did, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Do you want to act quick to get back behind that bulkhead so you can recover?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Let's do that then. Act quick. Roll with slick.
7.
7. You do it, but you choose 1. You're off balance and rushed. You have disadvantage going forward. You've left something behind. I'll tell you what it is. I can't see that working. You're pushed to your limits with the effort. Suffer 1 stress. So disadvantage or stress. As you push RaeDawn back to stop her.
Stress. I'll take the stress.
Okay, absorb the stress and then roll to recover in the moment you have. Roll with stalwart.
All right. Roll 7.
7. You're taking choose 2, but your enemy gets a chance to get into a better position or prepare themselves. So ready a move, weapon, or piece of gear that has been discharged.
Yeah.
Seems the obvious one. So the sniper rifle is back in play, but they're going to be in a good position behind cover when you come back around that corner. Meanwhile, Felix has cleared the path, Sophia, giving you advantage to put some grenades where it matters here. Is this cool or quick?
Ooh, now the gamey thing to do would be to say it's cool. So yeah, keep your cool under pressure. I think I'm trying to pull off some precise 0G maneuvering to get to the kind of key points in this reactor.
Grenade.
Yep.
Grenade. Yeah. Okay. Do that thing. Roll with stalwart.
So that is an 11.
Well, that's a success in my book. You do it with minimal cost. So these grenades are now in place. The advantage is gone. These belters are getting organized. Felix, what do you do?
Now we make our exit again. I'm gonna try and link up with Sophia and start pushing our way back out. And if I think at this point it's less of a stand and exchange fire and more of a like we gotta move it.
That sounds like act. Go on.
I've got an idea of what that looks like. Can we say that one component we left on our vac suits is a one of the thrusters? So maybe we did link arms back to back, disengage our grav boots, and just barrel down the corridor under thruster power.
Let's see how act quick goes. Sophia, I think I want you to roll lean on me to see whether this comes off, and then Felix can roll to act quick. Stalwart to start with.
So I didn't select the other dice, so I'm rolling them individually. If that one's not updating for me.
It certainly moved for me. No, it did move. I think that's a 9.
Oh yeah. Okay. If that moved for you, then that is indeed just a 9 on the dice, or a 9 with my +1?
I saw a 9 on the dice.
Okay, that's a 10 then.
You're graceful, swift, and acrobatic. You're helpful, sportive, all 3. So Felix has advantage. He reduces stress by 1, and you are not endangered by whatever happens next. Felix, roll to act quick with slick and at advantage.
All right. That is a 13.
This is all going terribly dramatically appropriate for a climax. You're graceful, swift, and acrobatic. We see you pass back down this corridor and elegantly bounce off the wall to get round the corner when there is a and a fireball in a suitably cinematic way rushes up that corridor just behind you. Kit, you hear the explosion. What do you do?
So I wasn't looking for like something that I could shoot that might like say like a fire extinguisher system or something that I could trigger with a good shot. And
that sounds like cool under pressure, to be honest. Or act quick, because that I'm just trying to think or lean on me to create an advantage. Lean on me, I think.
Yeah.
Roll with stalwart. There's no specific target for this lean on me, but it will give an advantage in play, I think, if it comes off.
Okay, calculating slick stalwart, right. Roll those 2. Oof. There's a 4.
It's rough. Choose only one.
Okay. Your efforts help them. They have advantage going forward.
Okay, so I think there is an advantage in play, but no more than that. So at this point, Sophia and Felix come bounding back down the corridor behind you. There is advantage in play with a couple of goons around that corner in cover. What happens next? Let me go back to Felix. Brandon, I'm just checking in. You're still not there, are you? Okay, let's go with Felix then.
I think Felix is going to try to hit the cover that they're at, and just like hit it. I'm picturing they're flying, down this corridor, hitting it and just coming down into cover. And I'd like to take a moment to maybe recharge one of my moves and set us up.
Okay, so Felix opts to land beside Kit around the corner in cover to roll recover. Go for it.
And that's with stalwart, right?
Stalwart.
So that's a 9 total.
Okay.
Sorry, a 10.
Oh, 10. Choose you're calm, efficient, and ready. Choose 2 from that list.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ready the juggernaut move. I'm gonna uncharge that one,
Okay.
and I'll go ahead and let's see. no one's at I'm knocked out.
I don't think so.
So then I'll shrug it off and I'll heal the I'm rattled on myself.
Fine, that's great. Sophia, what do we see you doing as you barrel down this corridor towards Kit's position?
So I think it's the same thing for me. I want to get that shotgun reloaded.
Fine, let's have you do that then. Roll with stalwart.
That's a 12.
Choose 2. Ready your discharged shotgun, fine. And then you have two other options. I suppose in theory you could ready something else. I don't.
Do I have anything else? I don't think I have anything else that's discharged.
Fine. So is there any shrug it off or first aid you can offer?
I could help Felix, and I don't get to heal just a scratch, do I, with first aid? Let me have a look. Recover.
You can heal yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think there's anything else I need to do with that, really.
Okay, so Kit, everyone's ready. I'm thinking Butch and Sundance here. But there's a corner, not a door. What do you do, Kit?
I suppose you save some grenades.
I think that I have to say I think we've discharged the grenades. To be honest, because the sense I got was that you wanted to blow that up, and I have to say there is a different kind of klaxon going now. So, Kit, what do you do?
I'm just gonna see if I can get a shot on any of these guys out. Like a limb or something that's not quite in cover.
Okay. You created advantage, so you have a chance to get round that corner and take a pot shot at one of them. And we'll see how it goes.
Okay. So, are we calling that an alpha strike or?
I don't think it's an alpha strike. I think they're still in cover.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 9. A 9.
9. Exchange harm. So there is 2 harm incoming for you, Kit. And you do 3 harm on one of them, which is enough to put them down. Do you want to discharge your weapon and deal double its harm? Which I'm interpreting as you can shoot another one.
Yeah.
So they are both down. But that's when 3 more charge up the corridor. Felix, what do you do?
I'm moving forward, unflinching towards the goal of getting out of here.
Okay, so let's have you roll Juggernaut with my eye on the clock.
And we've already spent that advantage from the fire suppressant systems, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's a 9.
And unless Sophia can think of an advantage she can create with lean on me.
Let's have a think.
It'll have to be a quick think.
Yep. I wonder if I think I fire my taser into the floor and try to electrify the floor in front of them just to like it won't like actually slow them down that much, but it might distract them.
I'll go with that. Roll with stalwart.
Okay. That's a 7.
Okay, on 7, you do what you can. Choose 2. Advantage, stress. There's no risk to you.
No risk to me and advantage.
Fine. So you have advantage with that slight distraction, Felix, on the Juggernaut.
Okay, so I had a 6, a 1 earlier. Third die is a 3, so that's a 6 and a 9. Plus my 2 will make it 11.
You are unstoppable. Choose 2.
I will choose that I unquestionably reach my goal and that I clear a path for an ally, and they have advantage going forward to following me.
Okay, so there's advantage. Look, if it's okay with you, I'm going to cut to the chase here because I'm conscious of the time. So I think, how do we see you clearing the path here, Felix? And then we'll cut to the airlock, I think, probably. Because this is all you have to get past.
I think we see the few that just came in briefly shocked through their mag boots on the floor. Felix then rounds the corner in more zero-G combat maneuvers, quickly picking them up, and then I think you see the rest of the gang following as we just push down, and fire still building up behind us.
And I think I will epilogue us in the first instance out of this as you go under thrust, strapping yourselves into your seats, hit the thrust button, and we get almost a replay of the first asteroid explosion as the anarcho-terrorist OPA effectively ceases to exist. Epilogues, I think. I hate to put the pressure on you, but I am conscious I don't want to keep you too late beyond our finish time. So, Felix, where do we next? Is there anyone who wants an epilogue in the immediate aftermath on the ship? No? No? Okay. Then, Felix, where do we next see you for our closing titles?
I think maybe we see a scene. It's not in the immediate aftermath. It is slightly later of Felix and Kit working through the dead man's switch that we've rigged with the MCRN, and Felix kind of positing the question to Kit of, maybe we could dig our own hooks in to their intelligence network and turn the tables.
I won't force Kit to answer in that, but Kit, I am interested in the epilogue. It could build on that, or it could be an entirely separate one, because I think what we've just had is a hook for the second series.
Mm-hmm. I think we see Kit recording a message for their family back home, and it's not sent, it's not transmitted or anything. It's just like in holding for whenever they can send it to them.
Oh, that's lovely. And what about Sophia?
I think we see Sophia walking up to the memorial, the kind of spontaneously put together jury-rigged memorial to the disappeared, and just laying an empty shotgun shell on that memorial. Very
cool. Brandon, I'm afraid you've just come back in time for an epilogue, having left the anarcho OPA terrorist asteroid destroyed with another reactor explosion. So what epilogue do we want to epilogue our way out of the episode on?
I think the RaeDawn's sitting in her little laboratory, and the bug is there, and there is some incredible jury rig around its container, the equivalent of space duct tape, and actually, no, even more dramatic. There's a little green glow, and you see that RaeDawn, that the bug is crawling over RaeDawn's hand. And she looks at it, and she pushes it back in its container, and closes it and says, "Some things they be more important than others." And she goes, "Send message."
Oh wow. Okay. And I think probably at that point we will cut to series docs where the crew are walking past that sign that we saw before, that old peeling poster with Jim Hayden saying, "Remember the cant," and so we recreate what's going on. And I have to have your tablet go off, Kit, with a little message from Major Omala saying, "With thanks," and a download of cash money and a postscript that says, "Speak soon." ... So we are set up for series 2 of Impulse Drive, The Expanse. Thank you, folks. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
If you can spare me 5 minutes, I would like a quick stars and wishes, if that's okay. Sorry, roses and thorns, because we have finished, much as I wish we would. So let me go in character keeper order. John, roses and thorns.
Oh, I just loved everything about this series. Thank you all so much for playing it. The one thing I really loved from today's game was Sophia's amazing move of pulling the grenade out when it looked like we might get stopped in the hallway. That was just such a great response. Do we say we're doing roses and thorns?
Well, let me do roses. I'll come back for thorns.
Sounds good.
Moving along, Brandon, any roses? I'll come back to Brandon.
I'm sorry, my microphone trouble.
Oh gosh, you are really struggling today.
It mostly wasn't tech. It was a nosebleed.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, no, it just things are dry. Anyway.
It's the low pressure on these stations.
Yes, clearly.
So any roses, Brandon?
There was so much to like. I mean, I like the Expanse, the whole genre feel was great, and I think communicated well, and I liked the interplay between the characters. Although wish there'd been more time even to develop some of it, because well, you only get so many sessions, and yeah, I mean, I'm not going to single things out because it'd be a long list, and I don't remember most of the details. But the feeling that this was just a good dysfunctional family was a strong one, which is the thing I was hoping for, and since that's the big marker to the original Expanse.
Great.
And
yeah, sorry.
That's it. And there was a couple of times where I, as I mentioned, I wanted slightly more time for characters to deal with their shit, rather than advance the action. But that's a balancing act. I recognize that it always has to happen.
Yeah, if I was thorning myself, I cut you off a couple of times, and I apologize for that. Moving on, Treb, any roses?
Yeah, roses for everybody. Like just the how we we had the tension between all of the crew this episode. Like everybody had their secrets and things coming out, and we dealt with that as maybe a bit rushed, but I was satisfied with how we managed to deal with it with the time we were given. And also like the setup of like we've got this one job and that we can and then we're clear of Martian entanglements.
Yeah, of course you are.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed this as a finale. Yeah.
Thank you. And finally, Bodhi, any roses?
So I'm going to pick up on what Brandon said, and for me, the standout thing, the whole thing was how much it felt like The Expanse. That was amazing for me, and I think that's really down to everyone kind of really understanding the genre and really playing to that. So yeah, that's my rose.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say that I think you leaned heavily on The Expanse, and that was great. It was exactly what I hoped we would get from this, that sense of The Expanse, because it's always a bit tricky when you're reskinning and you just hope that it works. So yeah, thank you all for knowing the genre and playing so much towards it. And it's always helpful when you've got someone who speaks Belter, I always find, in these games. I am now struck by whether there is a series, Paseo de las Pasiones, The Expanse. I don't know. But, you know, I'm not sure I've got the balls for that. Let me go back round. Any thorns? John, is there anything that could have gone better?
I think it's just the things we've mentioned, juggling time and, you know, how long to spend and what scenes and when to push the plot or when not is tough. But I do think we did a really good job of it. I think I don't have any real thorns. I think had a lot of fun.
Good. Yeah, it is, you know, who invented the 4-session Gauntlet standard series? Somebody needs to pay. Okay, Brandon, thorns. You talked about time constraint, and I absolutely accept that. There's always going to be that challenge. But anything else that you would have preferred to go better?
No, not really. As I said, you know, just well, I agree. It's like four episodes. Who thought that was enough? It's you know barely enough. It's barely enough for a series, I think, that focuses on character interactions, and one where there is action and things like that. It seems really shortchanged in some ways.
Yeah, and I think this is a game system that is designed for longer scale play. There's no question about that. And I have to say, now I've kind of run it once, I think I might be more inclined. I've yet to have the balls to put a quarterly on in anything. So watch this space. Treb, any thorns?
Nothing to add to, you know, just the same as other people. Like I wish we had more time to spend with this series and like work, you know, expand on the character interactions and such. But you know, that's the nature of the 4 sessions. So
well, if I run it again, I'll give you all a heads up. Bodhi, any thorns?
So for me, it was really not with the game or the way it was run or anything. Just one place where I bounced off the system a little bit, which was it doesn't, and this is a personal preference thing, it doesn't punish failure hard enough. Like on Lean On Me, you still get to give advantage even if you fail, and a lot of the moves just don't have a 6-. Like I want things to get worse if I fail, so it's kind of that felt a little weak in the design, and that's
yeah, I agree.
To me.
Yeah. I think it relies a lot on the GM to press the pain button, and I'm always a little bit nervous about pressing the pain button where the move appears not to do that. If, you know, Lean On Me, if it had said the going gets rougher, that would feel like it was opening the door. I think there's something about getting a feel for the system, but no, I take your point.
Yeah, well, feel free to hack it.
So much hacking to do in so little time. There are a lot of moves here. I was a bit dubious about the many moves around combat. You know, the recover, the use of ammo in effect. I think it generated some quite cinematic moments, in truth. So maybe I can learn to live with that, but we'll find out. Anyway, I'm going to stop the recording. So wave bye to the internet. Thank you, viewers, all hundreds of thousands of you.